The British royal family is a centuries-old soap opera dressed up in crowns, pearls, and painfully awkward public appearances. And just when you thought the drama had settled after Harry and Meghan's Netflix therapy sessions, along comes Queen Camilla and Princess Catherine to spice things right back up. Who needs the crown when reality's serving hotter tea? For years, the royal motto has been, smile, wave, and pretend everything's fine, even if your family dinners feel like a hostage situation. But recently, that paper-thin illusion of unity cracked wide open. Forget financial scandals or political stumbles, this one was personal. And it blew the palace gates clean off their hinges. It all began with a routine royal strategy meeting. Translation: a fancy calendar session where the rich and privileged decide who waves at peasants from which balcony. But on this particular day, Queen Camilla decided to drop her royal filter and go full villain mode. Her target? Not a rebellious tabloid, not even Harry the whiner. Nope, Camilla came for Catherine, Princess of Wales. And let's just say, you do not mess with the future Queen of England unless you're ready to be socially vaporised. Now, according to insiders, aka palace staff with Twitter burner accounts, the meeting went south faster than Harry's popularity ratings in the UK. It started with Camilla throwing shade at Catherine's public appearances. She quipped, "Do we need Catherine there? She tends to make everything about herself." Yes, she said that, but out loud, in front of King Charles, Prince William, and staff. Someone tell Camilla she's not at a Real Housewives reunion. Catherine, always the composed duchess, reportedly asked for clarification. And Camilla, she doubled down. People come to see the king, not a fashion show. Now, if that's not rich, coming from a woman whose most famous accessory is public disdain, we don't know what is. But wait, it gets worse. Because just when you think Camilla's run out of bad takes, she brings up Diana. That's right. She referenced the late Princess Di in a dig at Kate, in front of William. That's like bringing up Voldemort at a Harry Potter reunion. Completely off limits and guaranteed to cause a magical meltdown. Catherine reportedly stood up and said the now iconic words, "That woman will never speak to me again." She walked out, dignified, calm. But make no mistake, this was war. William? He followed his wife, jaw clenched, eyes blazing. And when he came back, he wasn't the polished prince anymore. He was a man protecting his wife, his children, and his mother's legacy. And Camilla, she was about to be royally ghosted. Within hours, Prince William made a decision that sent shockwaves through the palace. Camilla was banned, yes, banned from any future engagements with his wife or children. No joint appearances, no balcony moments, no awkward Easter photo ops. Nothing, nada. The Queen Consort was effectively exiled from the Wales family's royal narrative. And let's be clear, this wasn't a slap on the wrist. This was a public decapitation done with a velvet glove. Camilla still holds her title, sure, but she's now a ceremonial accessory, like a dusty old brooch no one wears anymore. Royal insiders were stunned. One even said, "Not even Prince Andrew got treated like this." That's right, the Prince Pizza Express in Woking got a softer fallout. Let that sink in. So, how did we get here? Well, it wasn't a single snarky comment. It was years of tension, quiet jabs, passive-aggressive digs, and royal one-upmanship that made middle school lunch tables look mature. Camilla never fully accepted Catherine. And honestly, are we even surprised? It's almost poetic. The woman who was once branded the other woman couldn't stand someone who effortlessly commanded admiration. Catherine never had to scheme or claw her way into the spotlight. She simply existed with grace, composure, and an aura that reminded the world of the late Princess Diana. And that comparison? That's what burned. Catherine came from working-class roots, carried herself with quiet dignity, and managed to remain scandal-free despite being in the most scrutinised role in Britain. She was everything Camilla wasn't and, more importantly, everything Camilla could never become. So instead of embracing her, Camilla resorted to petty hostility. According to former palace aides, she often made cutting remarks about Catherine behind her back. One aide recalled her scoffing, "She knows how to smile for the cameras. I'll give her that." Another overheard her belittling the Middleton family's business by calling it tacky party nonsense. And it wasn't just what she said, it was how she said it. That condescending tone reserved only for staff members she considered beneath her and, apparently, any woman not named Camilla. But while Camilla sniped and sneered from the sidelines, Catherine remained silent. Not passive, but composed. She focused on her duties, raised her children, and maintained her growing list of patronages with an ease that royal insiders began to admire. She never responded publicly, never leaked counter-stories, never needed a tabloid makeover. Because she didn't need one. The public already adored her. Meanwhile, as Charles ascended to the throne, Camilla's confidence swelled. She wasn't just the Queen's consort anymore. She acted like she was rewriting the rules of the monarchy. And part of that rewrite, inserting her own family into the royal narrative. Slowly but surely, her children and even her grandchildren began appearing at formal events, sitting in the front rows at coronations and posing for official photographs. To some, it looked like a proud grandmother sharing the limelight. But to royal observers, it looked more like a strategic power play, a bold attempt to establish a secondary bloodline within the monarchy, an unofficial dynasty. And Catherine, she noticed, she wasn't naive. She understood that this sudden visibility of Camilla's family wasn't innocent. It was a subtle challenge to the standing of her own children in the royal hierarchy, a veiled attempt to create alternate heirs to the influence and privileges her children were born into, and she took that threat seriously. Then came the press games. Suddenly, flattering stories about Camilla began appearing in certain newspapers. Articles praising her resilience, her charm, and her supposed role in stabilising the monarchy. And at the same time, subtle digs at Catherine's reclusiveness or fragility began surfacing. A curious coincidence? Or a calculated media campaign? You can guess which one Catherine believed. Suddenly, pro-Camilla articles started surfacing. Stories paint her as the wise matriarch. While Catherine, too polished, too distant, too perfect? Yes, because being beloved, dignified, and respected is now a problem. One editorial even compared Camilla's real-world wisdom to Catherine's so-called Ice Queen persona. It was a PR spin so desperate it could have used training wheels. But here's the kicker. The people didn't buy it. Catherine's popularity held strong. And Camilla? Well, let's just say the internet can smell desperation. And this smelled like OD insecurity. Despite all the backdoor jabs, the Waleses stayed out of the drama. Until Camilla went too far. Bringing up Diana wasn't just tone deaf, it was emotional sabotage. And William? He made sure there were consequences. He didn't hold a press conference. He didn't run to Oprah. He did something far more lethal in royal terms. He erased Camilla from his family's future. The message was clear. If you come for my wife and invoke my mother's name, you're done. Charles, ever the human wet blanket, tried to play mediator. He begged William to reconsider. But the damage was done. William's stance? It's not about appearances, it's about respect. And that was that. Even Catherine, diplomatic, patient, endlessly composed, was unmoved. She'd endured years of subtle bullying. This time, she was finished playing nice. Camilla, of course, didn't take the fallout gracefully. Oh no, she threw what can only be described as a full-blown royal tantrum behind closed doors. Sources say she accused King Charles of betrayal, claimed she was being sidelined, and, most dramatically, declared that Diana's ghost had finally won. The irony? She wasn't wrong. Because let's face it, after this nuclear-level fallout, the monarchy's future, it no longer includes her. Not really. Sure, she'll still sit beside the king at official events. She'll still flash rehearsed smiles for photographers. But in the real royal narrative, the one the public cares about, Camilla has been quietly edited out. No more shared events with William and Catherine. No more balcony cameos with the Wales children. She's been demoted from queen-in-waiting to royal afterthought. William and Catherine are the undeniable face of the monarchy now. The modern royals. The couple the public wants to see. She's the graceful queen in the making. He's the protective future king. Together, they're the monarchy's reset button. And Camilla, she's the awkward asterisk at the bottom of the family tree. The, oh, right, her in history books. So, let's get to the final verdict. Queen Camilla may wear the crown, but Catherine wears the respect. And in the cold, unspoken hierarchy of royal influence, that is the currency that matters. Not titles, not birthright, not age, but respect earned quietly over the years, without scandal or spite. Of course, Buckingham Palace won't issue a statement. They never do. The royal strategy is silence, hoping the scandal will blow over like a bad gust of English wind. But don't be fooled. This wasn't some minor misunderstanding. It was a message, and the message was loud and clear. The royal family no longer needs a villain. And Camilla? She just wrote herself out of the story. Meanwhile, Catherine didn't have to scream, shout, or run to a talk show. She didn't throw punches. She didn't leak stories. She simply stood up, walked out, and in doing so, made the loudest statement of all. That, dear viewers, is how you slay, without ever swinging the sword.